Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
It was quite the downpour that moved through Fargo-Moorhead. It sounds like it hit a lot of other places along the way as well. Let's get the latest on conditions from Justin. He's here with your first alert forecast. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea, and good evening, everybody. Yes, we did have some showers and thunderstorms move through as we made our way into the afternoon, and we did have them move through the Southern Valley. Let's take a look at where they are right now. They are mainly into the Southern Valley from Fergus Falls down toward the Sisseton area, and we are partly cloudy to mostly cloudy elsewhere. Let's take a look at a stronger storm that's actually near the Ellendale area right now. This one could be producing some small hail with this one. Also, we're tracking those storms moving just off to the south of our viewing area right now, exiting via Wilkin County. Temperatures across the region are mainly into the upper 70s and lower 80s, and it's starting to get a little drier out there. The wind's flipping around to more of a northerly direction behind the front that made its way through, wind speeds between 10 and 20 miles per hour. So through this evening, any showers and thunderstorms coming to an end, temperatures falling back through the 70s with a decreasing cloud trend overnight. And we'll tell you what to expect as we go through the weekend. It does include more sunshine and drier air. We'll tell you about that later in the newscast.
All right. Thanks, Justin. Breaking news now of a serious crash on the north side of Fargo. Here is what we know. At least 2 rescue crews are at 7th Avenue North and 43rd Street. One person has been taken to the hospital, and they're working on at least one other. This all happened within the last 30 minutes. The severity of injuries and other details are not known right now, but we have a crew expected to arrive shortly, so look for more details a little later on. The West Fargo School District announced their proposal for the upcoming school year this morning, delaying the first day of school until September 3rd, with plans to start off learning in a hybrid model, as long as COVID-19 cases in the county remain similar to what they are now. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley was at the meeting and breaks down what else West Fargo parents and students can expect.
Nothing would make us happier than to have all of our students and staff back on campuses this fall. But that is not our current reality.
Superintendent Beth Sleddy says West Fargo schools will bring students back full-time as soon as it's safe to do so. But in the meantime, West Fargo students will be taking turns learning in person, with 3 days online and 2 days in the classroom.
Cohort A through K will attend school on site on Mondays and Tuesdays, while cohort L through Z will attend school on site Thursdays and Fridays.
The 92-page Return to Learn plan asks staff and students to check their temperatures before school daily and asks you to pay attention to the following before coming to school. The plan also states masks will be considered part of the dress code, saying students will be able to remove their masks in the classroom if given permission by a teacher and if 6 feet of physical distancing is possible.
Each teacher will have the autonomy to set up their own room while still abiding by physical distancing protocols.
The plan also states students will not be issued lockers this school year and instead will carry their backpacks from class to class. Adding all school water fountains will be turned off due to CDC guidelines. Therefore, students are encouraged to bring their own water bottles to school. And Superintendent Sleddy says while she understands the proposal won't work perfectly for every family, she asks you to be respectful of the difficult decisions made. In West Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
West Fargo's plan also breaks down how breakfast and lunch will be served for both hybrid and distance learning students. You can find it on our VNL News app. Fargo Public Schools says that it's relying on data to guide its decision on how to start the school year. At a news conference today, Superintendent Rupat Gandhi defended the district's conservative approach to the upcoming year. Yesterday, the school board approved a reopening plan that pushes back the first day of classes to September 2nd. We'll have more from the superintendent and what this means for your children coming up on Valley News Live at 6. In North Dakota, the Department of Health is reporting 168 new cases of the illness. The active case count is now at 1,017. That's a new record high. No new deaths have been reported. In Minnesota, 779 new cases have been confirmed, along with 6 new deaths linked to COVID-19. For the full rundown of the new numbers, you can visit our website or the VNL News app. Minnesota health officials are urging rodeo goers to watch for coronavirus symptoms after learning someone who attended a rodeo this past weekend was infectious while at the event. Officials say the person who tested positive attended the North Star Stampede in Effie, Minnesota. That's in Itasca County, July 25th through the 27th. That person developed symptoms July 27th and tested positive the same day for coronavirus. It's not known how many of the several thousand people who attended the event may have been exposed. The U.S. death toll from COVID-19 stands at more than 152,000, and one of the hardest hit states is about to face another challenge. Danya Bacchus has the latest on the pandemic.
Floridians wearing face masks to protect against COVID-19 picked up free sandbags to prepare for another threat, Hurricane Isaias.
We're trying to, prevent problems at home.
The storm is expected to make landfall there this weekend. It comes as Florida experienced 4 days of record high COVID-19 deaths. Many coronavirus testing sites there have closed because of the weather.
Our sites, because they're outdoors with tents, if it were to get 40, 50 mile an hour winds, it would just collapse.
As cases surge in Wisconsin, the governor announced a statewide mask mandate starting tomorrow.
Although we're fighting the same pandemic, we find ourselves in a completely different situation than one we were in just a few months ago.
And Major League Baseball keeps taking hits. The game between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers has been postponed after 2 Cardinals players tested positive. California is fast approaching 500,000 confirmed cases, the most in the nation. One outbreak was here at the University of Southern California's Fraternity Row.
We have identified, at this point, roughly 44 individuals that were associated with these original cases in 3 fraternity houses.
Some students who may have been exposed had to quarantine for 14 days.
People really buckled down and were like, okay, we can't joke around with this anymore.
USC says it hasn't seen a new positive case in more than a week. Danya Bacchus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
New Jersey announced today there were no new in-hospital COVID-19 deaths. That's the first time that has happened since March 10th. A lead White House negotiator on the COVID relief bill says Democrats are rejecting offers to temporarily extend unemployment benefits. Chief of Staff Mark Meadows says Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer refused to make counter-offers to extend benefits as the $600 a week federal benefit runs out tonight. This, as NBC News reports, the administration offered a 1-week extension of the payment while negotiations continued, an offer Democrats rejected.
At the president's direction, we have made no less than 4 different offers to Democrats on Capitol Hill on how we can make sure that the enhanced unemployment that is set to expire today, along with eviction protection that is set to expire as well, is protected.
Democrats want a comprehensive COVID bill extension, including more money for schools and testing and aid to state and local governments. An inmate is now back in custody after escaping from work release in Barnes County. According to the Barnes County Sheriff's Office, Tyler Delmore is in custody as of this morning. He was originally released on Monday for work duties as part of his criminal judgment. Another inmate, who was also apprehended a few days later, escaped last week. Just over 6 months after a massive fire broke out at Elam Care and Rehabilitation Center in South Fargo, plans are now being made to rebuild. A spokesperson for the center says they've been looking at the alternatives the past few months. The decision was made to build a new facility at the same location. That new building is expected to be finished sometime in 2022. Fargo Police Chief David Todd said his goodbyes today as he's now off to retirement. Many people came out this afternoon with balloons to wish him well. Chief Todd thanked the community who rallied around his department when they needed them the most. But not everyone was there to wish the chief well. The group One Fargo took time to protest the event and also speak on allegations that a retired local law enforcement official once made racist comments. A new sandwich shop is coming to Fargo next spring. Permits were approved for construction of McAllister's Deli franchise at 5600 28th Avenue South, right off of Veterans Boulevard. The listed cost of the project is $1.25 million. McAllister's Deli was started in Oxford, Mississippi, and is known for its sweet tea, according to the company's website. Owners say they are aiming to open in April or May of next year. Now more than ever, with the coronavirus pandemic, people are needing an outlet to talk about death and dying. We'll show you a safe place to have that conversation next on Valley News Live at 5.
And that storm we've been watching near Ellendale has gone severe. We do have a warning for south central Dickey County until 6 p.m. with this storm. Quarter-sized hail is possible. We'll have the full details coming up after the break.